Do you see what your new rappers, how they got y'all dressing? What happened to white tees and normal? You this girl.
Lil Baby just went off on Jayda after she dropped hints confirming the very rumor he has been running from, his alleged DL affair. For the first time, people began to understand why they really broke up. What was once dismissed as nothing more than whispers is now exploding into full-on gay-for-pay accusations, and the timing couldn't be worse. The moment Jayda cracked the door open, Slim Thugger kicked it wide with receipts that Lil Baby can't seem to escape. In case you missed it, Slim Thug recently slipped up and exposed the one secret Lil Baby has allegedly kept hidden for years. He called Lil Baby a sugar baby, and Lil Baby hasn't been able to recover from those claims. Even with the ongoing whispers about him being on the DL, Slim didn't just entertain that narrative. He dropped a bombshell by saying Lil Baby isn't the man people think he is, tying it all back to his supposed secret with music mogul Mike Rubin.
What do you think of the James Harden memes?
Like what? Like I don't play certain type games.
Yeah.
So even when I see certain it's just like, you know what I'm saying? I just say it.
See the comedy.
Push up on me with it. You know what I'm saying? See how that go.
You can literally catch the exact second Slim let it slip about Lil Baby. And whether it came out by accident or not, he looked a little too satisfied with himself for finally airing it out.
We ain't going for it. We staying in our era. We going with the G. We work on cars. You know what I'm saying? We change all. We do all the real man shit. You feel me? We ain't influenced by nothing else.
Of course, Lil Baby couldn't stay quiet about it. Lately, he's been lashing out nonstop, raging about people who don't know how to stay in their lane, and warning that if he ever crosses paths with Slim Thug, it won't just end with words. Now the big question floating around is, has Lil Baby been faking his whole tough guy street persona this entire time? Because if what Slim Thug is saying is true, then Mike Rubin might actually be the hidden reason behind Lil Baby's rise. And suddenly, those long circulating sugar daddy allegations don't sound so far-fetched.
Don't be making fun of me when I'm drunk. You're gonna get another drunken hug tonight. I don't care what anyone says. You're getting a drunken hug. You too. You too. Drunken hugs are coming tonight.
What up, Mike? Get up off me, dog.
Everybody knows Lil Baby has always been the type to ignore internet gossip, but Slim's video clearly struck a nerve. The moment it hit the timeline, it felt like Lil Baby's worst fears were being dragged out into the open. Judging by his reaction, he clearly lost it, and if hit dogs holler, then he's definitely got some explaining to do. He quickly jumped on his IG stories and dropped a cryptic post. Dudes love talking until ish gets real. Then what? Within minutes, the post was deleted like it never existed, but of course, blogs and gossip pages had already grabbed the screenshots and blasted them all over social media. And while his post didn't name names, it said just enough to have everybody whispering. Some folks were confused about who the message was aimed at, but anybody paying attention already knew. The timing lined up too perfectly, and all fingers pointed straight at Slim Thug. Once people made that connection, fans started digging, scrolling through Slim's feed, Lil Baby's feed, every video, every comment, hunting for shade or hidden clues. That's when the pieces clicked. Slim had been sending subliminal shots for a while, and now Lil Baby was finally showing he'd had enough. But in case you're wondering why Slim Thug called out Lil Baby in the first place, it all started not too long ago during a performance where Lil Baby wore an outfit that left little to the imagination. He hit the stage rocking a tiny tank top, shorts, and a pink belt showing off his thighs, the infamous Hoochie Daddy shorts. For Slim, that look sealed the deal. In his eyes, it was all the confirmation he needed that Lil Baby was playing into the role of a sugar baby for powerful men like Mike Rubin. If you haven't seen the clip, it shows Lil Baby fully styled up in the outfit, and instantly people online started laughing, speculating, and even flat out claiming Lil Baby is gay. Some even pointed out that his walking style looked a little different than usual, adding more fuel to the fire. And that was all Slim needed. because the next thing he did was jump online and unload on Lil Baby, saying this was exactly what's wrong with hip-hop today. Slim's face said it all. You could see the disappointment and disgust in his tight facial expression and locked eyebrows. He went straight at Lil Baby, calling him a girl for dressing that way, and you could practically feel his frustration oozing through the screen. But Slim didn't stop there. He dragged young Jock into the fire too. Not meet me in the trap, it's going down Jock, but the Jock who had recently rocked a crop sweater that showed off his little midriff stomach while performing. Slim lumped him right in with Lil Baby, clowning both of them for how they chose to present themselves. Yeah, crop tops aren't for everybody, but Slim made it clear that this wasn't just about fashion choices. To him, it was evidence that Lil Baby was hiding a bigger truth. And by this point, fans were doing their own digging too. The very next thing they uncovered made Slim look like he wasn't reaching at all. Instantly, people were dragged back to that one controversial photo where Michael Rubin and Lil Baby looked practically glued to each other. The body language, the smiles, the angles, it suddenly didn't feel like just another group shot. It looked like they were low-key going public. At first, nobody read too much into it, until Slim Thug called him out. And then right on cue, 50 Cent entered the chat. He reposted the photo with a caption basically saying, "What the F asterisk asterisk is going on here?" Asterisk, that one move from 50 lit the internet on fire. Within hours, timelines were flooded with theories, jokes, and old receipts people had been sitting on for years. Fans started digging deeper, pulling out screenshots and whispers that had been floating around the industry forever. Claims that Michael Rubin and Lil Baby's bond didn't stop in the music studio, but allegedly spilled over into something much more personal. Just like that, one single picture became Exhibit A. From that moment on, every single selfie with Rubin wasn't just another flick, it was treated as possible evidence. Fans were convinced they had finally cracked the code. But before unpacking all those so-called receipts, it's important to talk about who this alleged sugar daddy really is. Michael Rubin isn't just some background figure in the industry. He's a heavyweight, a man with enough reach to make or break careers. Sure, most people know Rubin as a music exec, but his name has also popped up in some of the industry's shadiest circles, especially ones involving powerful men. He's been connected to those infamous white parties, the same kind Diddy is known for hosting. And that alone should tell you everything about the kind of influence he carries. But lately, all the whispers have narrowed down to one focus: his closeness with Lil Baby. Whether it's photos, his all-white mansion parties, private jet trips, or courtside NBA seats, Rubin is always right there. Sometimes in the background, sometimes standing right next to Lil Baby, but always present like a shadow hanging over his every move. And it doesn't stop with luxury perks or billionaire connections. A lot of fans are convinced Rubin has been quietly shaping Lil Baby's image too. They point to the strange shifts in how Baby has carried himself in recent months. And let's just say, it doesn't look random. Given Rubin's influence, Slim's accusations suddenly didn't sound so far-fetched. Because according to Slim, these little clues weren't just suspicious. They ripped the mask off and exposed who's really been calling the shots in Lil Baby's career. And back at that infamous performance clip, the short shorts weren't even the only thing people zoomed in on. Fans also spotted a massive new tattoo running down Lil Baby's legs, one on each thigh, reading "Nine's Baby." Now on most rappers, that wouldn't raise too many eyebrows. But on Lil Baby, it set off alarms. Why? Because for years, he built his entire image around not having a single tattoo on his body. He even explained in an interview that he avoided ink because tattoos made people look ghetto, and he wanted to keep his image clean as he moved into business ventures beyond rap. Damn, everybody caught on to this now. So why would someone who was always so firm about staying ink-free suddenly flip and tattoo both thighs with Nine's Baby? And even add another one down his left leg reading, CBFW? The contradiction was way too loud to ignore. Once that clip started circulating, fans were screen-grabbing every frame and posting it with wild captions. Theories spiraled fast, with people calling the tattoos a form of branding. A literal mark tying him to Mike Rubin as his boy toy, allegedly. That's when Lil Baby realized silence wasn't going to cut it anymore. He tried to get ahead of the rumors by shutting them down, but his words only poured more gas on the fire. Suddenly, people weren't just talking about the tattoos anymore. They were digging into his love life. And what they uncovered made the ink look like child's play. At first, Lil Baby brushed off the Ruben talk altogether. He even downplayed the viral photo of him and Mike, claiming there was nothing suspicious about it. According to him, it was just a little play wrestling moment that happened to be caught on camera. He even doubled down on Lil Yachty's podcast, swearing they had security footage that would prove his side of the story. But here's the thing, he never released it. And online, that only made him look worse. Because to the internet, saying you've got receipts but never showing them might as well be the same as admitting guilt. You feel me? That's when his own baby mama, Jayda Cheaves, stepped in and dropped a bomb. She revealed the real reason she left Lil Baby, saying she tried to hold the relationship together, but finally walked away when he showed her his true colors. She didn't go into heavy detail, but the way she phrased it gave people more than enough to start connecting the dots. Her words sparked a whole new wave of speculation. That the true colors she was hinting at weren't about cheating with women at all, but about Lil Baby's alleged ties to Mike Rubin. Allegedly. She didn't have to spell it out. The little hints she dropped were enough to spark another round of conversations. But what came after is what really pushed the sugar daddy whispers into full-blown suspicion. This is where it gets tricky. People have always raised eyebrows at Mike Rubin's role in Lil Baby's life, but what tipped them over the edge was Lil Baby's own gambling story. Yes, y'all. He admitted to blowing over $9 million in just 2 days on a gambling binge. And when it looked like things were spiraling, guess who stepped in to handle it? Mike Rubin. According to Lil Baby, Mike personally called casinos and had him banned so he couldn't place bets anymore. On the surface, it sounded like a caring friend stepping up. But once the other receipts started circulating, it looked a lot less like concern, and more like a boss protecting his investment, making sure Lil Baby didn't ruin the image he built for him. Fans immediately began comparing it to the notorious Diddy, Clive Davis dynamic. And if you know, you know, because that situation spiraled, and now people can't help but think Lil Baby might be walking down the same dangerous path. The real question is, who's really pulling the strings here? Meanwhile, Slim Thug isn't slowing down. He's still on social media throwing subs with his little beard, reposting old clips, and practically daring Lil Baby to call him out by name. But Lil Baby's silence is what's confusing people. After all the threats and cryptic posts, he's just vanished. And in this game, silence doesn't mean peace. It usually means one of two things. Either you're cooking up a major play, or you've completely run out of moves. And maybe Lil Baby realized the cat was already out of the bag. Now the only question people are asking is this. Is Lil Baby trying to protect his brand? Or is he protecting Mike Rubin? Because if Slim Thug manages to drop one more bombshell, this whole situation could shift from whispers to a full-blown, career-ending scandal.